York City's annual meteorite auction. We'll find out just what a rock from space is worth these days. The art world's interest in meteorites has skyrocketed lately. Collectors and curators are buying up rocks from outer space for museums, galleries, even for cocktail tables at home. This week, meteorite hunters got a chance to bid for some of the world's most coveted extraterrestrial rocks at a New York auction. Claudia Florian is the acting head of natural history at Bonham's Auction House. She joins me from New York. So, Claudia, what were some of the most unusual, most exotic specimens in the auction?
Well, we have such a huge variety of objects in these auctions. We really try to make them as comprehensive as possible, offering all sorts of selections from the natural world. That's really what we find appeals to clients and captures their interest. The meteorite section was terribly strong in this particular auction. The most wonderful example that we had is a meteorite from Argentina that we call Campo del Cielo. That's the name of the locality, the Valley of the Sky in Spanish. And it was a 355-pound meteorite, which is actually still here in our gallery. And it's situated on a wonderful sculptural stand that accentuates all the aesthetic qualities of the meteorite.
And how much did it fetch?
Well, it exceeded its estimate by a few multiples. We expected it might make between $30,000 and $40,000. It actually sold for a hammer price of $77,500.
Now, I've got to ask you, I understand there was an actual piece of moon rock. I think was described before the auction as a slice of the moon, but it had only been estimated to go for $5,000 or $6,000 or something. Did it sell?
It did sell, in fact. It actually, I think it might have exceeded the estimate. It was a 2-gram piece, and it had a fusion crust along one edge of it. And it was a brilliant white color, whereas many of them are sort of a muddy gray. But this small fragment, the 2-gram fragment, it ended up selling for a hammer price of $4,250.
What sort of people come to auctions of meteorites?
Well, it really runs the range. Obviously, we've got movie stars and celebrities that come to the auctions and have an interest in this material. But of course, what I find quite interesting is that we have a number of surgeons and physicians that are on our mailing list. And clearly they have a scientific interest, particularly in the fossils and anatomical types of specimens. But there are quite a number of them on our mailing list.
Now, Claudia, is it your sense that interest in, let's say, meteorites, I know you auction many natural history objects, but just meteorites, is growing?
We think there is, and in the 10 years that we've been doing these auctions in various cities, we've seen the per gram prices of these meteorites rising many-fold.
Yeah, just one more quick question, Claudia. Do scientists ever express concerns to you that by selling to private collectors, you're taking these out of the sort of scientific domain?
They do express those sorts of concerns, and generally speaking, while we do hear those concerns, I feel that they are unfounded. In fact, what these auctions do is to promote a greater interest on the part of the general public in objects of natural science. And in fact, many of the items that were purchased in our auction, although they remain in private hands for a few months or a few years, they are most frequently donated to an institution within a given period of time.
Well, it's very interesting. Thanks a lot for telling us about the auction.
Thank you very much.
Claudia Florian is the acting head of natural history at Bonham's Auction House. She joined us from New York.
And in the Science News